Hello everyone, it is DD here, and welcome to the first of a series I'm going to be working on, or have been working on for a couple years. How to build the weapons from Doom. So this first entry is how to build every single weapon from Doom Eternal. And when I say every single weapon, I mean every single weapon. All of the guns, all of the melee, all the fucking blood punch. You're going to have the frag grenade, the ice bomb, the flame belch. All of it. Now, for those of you who are new, if you're noticing that my Doomslayer custom in the back there, I did make a video on that. I'll link that in the description. There's two versions. There's a short version and an extended version. Saying it out loud makes it sound a little weird, but the extended version is me just nerding out because I love Doom so much. I mean, I have a Doom ring for Christ's sake. But I will link the shorter version because the shorter version has the extended version in the description. But anyways, back to this. So this is a project I've been working on for almost 2 years. It's been almost 2 years since that Doomslayer video released. For returning fans, you'll notice that I changed the head out for Doomslayer to the human head that I chose for him before, because after replaying Doom Eternal a couple more times, I was like, you really, they made it so you could see through the helmet on purpose. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that head on there and just leave it on there. Yeah, the visor is yellow, who cares? So without any further ado, let's go into the weapons. So what we have here is each gun, each melee tool, and then obviously the little items will be shown as well. So we're gonna start with the smaller things like the items, but you'll notice that each gun has both mods, so each different version. I'm not gonna be taking them apart piece by piece, mainly because I myself am a person who I'm able to look at these and just pick it apart. I will take some things apart for some, just for a little bit of extra detail. But most of these you can look at and you'll just be able to figure it out, I promise. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick up Mr. Doomslayer here. So get this focused. Alright, so for Blood Punch, literally all I did was give him the Infinity Gauntlet minifigure sized. Because in game, when you find it, it's perched up like this, and then the three little dots here, or little bumps here, could look like the gauntlet, little. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the little gauntlet pins on Doomslayer's fist. So, and I gave it like this because then it's exaggerated, so when he punches and it makes that I just like it. I think this gold hand really represents Blood Punch well. I also forgot to mention I will be showcasing each weapon in Doomslayer's hand. These are all made to be minifigure scale. As you'll notice, a lot of the guns are pretty big, but that is going to happen when it's Doom, because Doom has some big fucking guns, which we'll get to in a minute. So, in the Doomslayer minifigure video, I showed how to make everything minus the frag grenade. After getting into the photo mode and doing some stuff, I realized, you can just take this, this is a light pin thing, or sometimes it's used as a popsicle, and put it halfway in and it looks like the frag grenade's launching out. That's really all it is. It's just a ball that explodes. So that's the frag grenade. The ice bomb is the exact same piece, but in light blue transparent. So, just a little ice bomb shooting out there. The flame belch, I went for a candle flame, the little itty bitty ones. They are technically weapons. I mean, they're actively grenades that explode, ice bombs that freeze, and flames that light them on fire. This isn't a weapon, but I have it over here. This is a little bonus, I guess. Here's a codex. It's literally just the Darkhold page from the Agatha Harkness minifigure. But I looked at it and I went, that really looks like a codex. I'm going to sneak that in here. So there's that. And then for those who are returning, I may as well just show it. If we take the helmet off, here is Doomslayer without the helmet. I did it in the minifigure video, but I forgot to put the hairpiece away. So honestly, there you go. Just why not? I put the helmet on crooked. It's going to bother my OCD. There we go. So why not? There you go. So those are the items and the blood punch. So we're going to put him back here for right now. So these are lined up in the order that you acquire them, or at least most of them. You start with the combat shotgun, then you get the chainsaw, then the heavy assault rifle, then the plasma rifle, the rocket launcher, super shotgun, ballista, chain gun, BFG 9000. You can get... Ooh, this might be where I mess up. So the Unmaker you unlock in the Fortress of Doom. And I cannot remember if you get it post-Crucible or pre-Crucible. I'm thinking now. Hold on. Mars Core is... because level 10 is the Gladiator, and you get the Crucible in level 9. So I think that's post-Crucible. Okay, well, either or, these two might be flip-flopped, but Unmaker, the Crucible, and the Sentinel Hammer, which is in the DLC. But I wanted to include it because it is a weapon, and, you know, it actively is very important in the DLC. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, the Combat Shotgun, the first mod here, this is the Doomblade. It also showed how to build that in the minifigure video, so I'm going to just take the Doomblade out. So, this is the Sticky Bombs mod, I'm pretty sure. I did not go over... I know what most of these are, based on memory, because it's one of my favorite games. But this is the... yes, this is the Sticky Bomb. Sticky Grenade, Sticky Bombs. Combat Shotgun mod. This is what you can start out with if you choose, or you can choose the full auto. It's literally just a Alien Conquest gun with binoculars on the end, and then just one of these 1x1 plates with like the little handle, because if you really wanted to, you can like move it back and forth and like cock it. Really basic, and the whole gun is actually dark gray, but I gave it a black one because otherwise the whole thing just is one color, and I thought that just looked a bit weird. The second Combat Shotgun mod is the full auto mod. This is the exact same build, except it's got a stud with a hole, if I can get it in his hand. There we go. It's stud with a hole on the end because the Combat Shotgun full auto mod extends it slightly, and then it has like a triple barrel and it spins. If I have any of these flip-flopped while I'm recording, then I'm either gonna redo the whole video or I'm just gonna end it all. So we'll see what happens. But there's the Combat Shotgun mods. The chainsaw. Now this is actually one of my favorite ones that I made because it took me so long to do it, because the chainsaw in game is so like over the top, you know. So here he is, like mid, you know. So it's built on a 1x1 brick with the studs all around, and the bottom is facing here, which just has one of these going that way. A yellow cheese slope, a yellow 1x1 tile. This was very hard for me to find, specifically with light gray and yellow. I actually had to switch them out. I took this light gray antenna piece from the... Okay, so do you guys remember the Lego minifigure series where they had the Lego baby in the space outfit? It comes from that. This little thing comes from that, I'm pretty sure. No, that's a walkie-talkie piece. Never mind, ignore that. So this piece in gray and that in yellow. A stud with a yellow stud with a hole in it. And then I'm sure you guys know what that piece is. The chainsaw piece in there, but not in all the way. An ice skate piece attached to the same piece that was on the Combat Shotgun. It just works. Fun fact, in game it's actually called the Dope Saw, and it has the Dope Fish marked on it from Commander Keen. This is one of my favorites. I think I did fantastic on this. Like I've said it before, I don't like toot my own horn. I'm actually going to toot my own horn in this video. I'm sorry, this video took me 2 years to make. I'm going to toot my own horn. Up next is the Heavy Assault Rifle. So this gun is going to be one of the guns in this video where he's going to kind of have to hold it a little bit awkward. So in order for him to hold it more accurately, it's just got to be like this. So this is the Precision Bolt mod. That's what this is. It's supposed to represent the scope. Now, you might notice, like, man, why is it, like, red? I'm basing these builds off of what the guns look like by default. I didn't add any skins. The only one I changed is the Ballista, but we'll get there in a moment. So, this is built on, like, the fire hose little gun piece. And then it's a black stud with a pinhole, a red stud with a pinhole, another red stud with a pinhole, this, like, Spider-Man web piece, but in black. This 1x1 stud with the pin going, like, with the pin, because that's with the hole, this is with the pin, and then that same piece that was on the last two guns, but in dark red. So that is the Precision Bolt mod. This one actually took me a long time. This is the Micro Missiles mod. It's the exact same thing, except add this piece, which is the stud with the pin extended out. Oh, wait, no, actually, okay, hold on. So I will take this one off just a little bit. So this uses, I'm assuming you guys have seen this piece before. They're made of rubber, or not rubber, like a plastic, and you can actually cut it down and it's still considered purist. So I cut mine down to about that length. And then this piece is from the BB-8 build set, where like the thumb comes out with the little flame. That's where I got it from. And then it's the it's the stud with the hole, the dark red, and then the same thing on the front there. And then you just stick that in there, and then boom, there you have it. Micro Missiles mod right there. I don't use this very much in game, but in Doom 2016, I abuse it. I prefer the scope in Eternal, but I prefer the Micro Missiles in Doom 2016. And speaking of Doom 2016, I want to make Doomslayer from Doom 2016 so bad, but this color green is not the same color as the Praetor suit in 2016. Praetor suit in 2016 in Lego colors would be sand green. And me being as picky as I am, that's why there is no Doom 2016 Slayer yet. But I also want to build the guns from that game, but I don't want to do that until I can make the Doom Slayer for comparison. So, for those of you wondering, yes, why I said this is a series, you're going to get classic Doom weapons, Doom 2016 weapons, and Doom the Dark Ages weapons, which are going to be the next ones. Up next, we have the Plasma Rifle. I'm pretty sure this one is the Microwave Beam. Or no, not the... I'm already fucking up. This is the Heat Blast. I'm pretty sure what I did was I laid these out. Whichever one is first is the one I use the most. Yeah, so this is the Heat Blast mod. Now, he doesn't hold it like this. He actually holds it like that in-game because, you know, he's usually got, you know, something else going on the other hand. So, this gun took me a little while. This base piece here, I'm pretty sure it's from Overwatch, but it's in dark gray. And then you got two... 1x1 round dark gray tiles on each side, or one on each side, sorry. This like half of an oval black tile down here, or you know, like just a D. The gray piece here is the stud with the pin. That's a black stud with a hole. These two blue pieces that like have that like shine going on are the Tesseract from Captain Carter in the first Lego Marvel minifigure series. And then this piece is actually a 1x1 brick with the stud on two ends. And then these are neck brackets in dark gray that go up like this. It was the best method for me to replicate the gray around the barrel on the front while also maintaining the big open hole there for the ammo to come out. Again, if I'm wrong on these mods, I'm just going to put it on screen and be like, well, shit, you know, I messed up. Or maybe I will just re-record the entire thing. But this is the Heat Blast mod, to my knowledge. And then this one is the Microwave Beam. Yes, no, that is the Heat Blast, because I thought about it. If you want to do the fully charged, change these to red. Yes, okay, that is Heat Blast. This is Microwave Beam. It's the exact same thing, except instead of circles, these are squares. And then this is two tan 1x1 plates, which you help represent, you know, the default look of the, like, this is the default look of the plasma rifle. The Microwave Beam is the one that shoots out like the Ghostbusters like stream, and you actually have to use it on the spirits like Ghostbusters, otherwise that's, you know, you can't kill them. Built the exact same way, just switch out a different, you know, a few pieces. The rocket launcher, this one also took a while, so this one's another awkwardly held one. This one is the lock-on burst, I'm pretty sure. Yes. I'm remembering the pictures of the guns in my head. Yes, this is the lock-on, okay. So this is one I prefer to use. This is a very interesting build, actually. So this is what it looks like, you know, in comparison. It's a decently sized RPG, I'd say, in comparison to a minifigure. So the way this one is made is it actually, let me very careful. Okay, so it's that 1x1 stud with the pin. This, like, finger piece from, like, a Venom mech. This is a Spider Tracer piece from some of the, like, Spider-Man sets that have come out in the last few years. And then that's a gray stud with a hole and a gray stud with a pin. Let's throw that back on. And then it's another Spider Tracer meeting up exactly the same way. On the bottom, so this piece and this piece are both from, okay, so do you guys know the Avengers Tower set? Not the big one, the one before that. The one, like, not the Age of Ultron one. There was one after that. It had, like, the A on the side, like Brick Bill A. It came with this piece, and it was this and another one, and it had the Power Stone in the middle. That's the best way I can describe this, is it's that and then it's got another one of those cut off silicone pieces here, and then this piece I've seen used on telescopes, flashlights, candle holders, whatever. But the barrel for the lock-on burst looks similar to this. And then this piece, I think I like to consider it like a grenade, but it's got a pin there. If I can get it out. Oh my god. Why is it not? Oh, it's in there. Good. Okay. It's got a pin there, and then it's inside of the stud with the hole, and then we just attach that onto the back like so. Yeah, so that's the lock-on burst, which when you shoot it in-game, you know, it shoots 3 rockets, but they're all locked on, so they go to the same target. This one is the remote detonate. Obviously, it's built very similar. Another weirdly, you know, held gun, but I think it's pretty decent in size. So it's the exact same thing, except we're gonna... Ooh, no! Except, so it's the same on the back, and then up until here. The gray pin is going inside of an orange stud, which is added in between because there's actually a bit of a gap between them on this version, and it's got orange in the middle that you can see. And then in here, this is a cone. Oh, can I get it out? Hold on. Okay. It's that same piece that's cut up. You're going to want a lot of these. I got mine from the 2015 Avengers Tower, ironically. And then this is a cone, and you just slide that on there. And like the rocket launcher remote detonate mod is more narrow and going. This is the one that you shoot, and then you can detonate it like mid-air or like midstream. And then up next we have the super shotgun, which I have shown before, but this one has one small modification. This bottom piece is now brown. In the last video I made, it was dark gray, and I said, yeah, when I make this big video, it'll be brown. So it's supposed to add to give it that look of like the wood attached. If this piece existed in brown, it would be brown. When this piece is made in brown, there will be an updated video made. Not of every gun, but you know, if I make any modifications, then maybe, but you know. This is a silver roller skate piece upside down, binoculars on both ends. This like jumper pin that's been used in a lot of sets. I got the gray one from Dr. Octopus. Then that brown piece, I actually had to order off Bricklink. It's just look up 1x1 plate with clip, and then this gold, the meat hook, is a bucket handle. That's all it is. So that's the super shotgun, and then I actually added this is there for show. This is the super shotgun, but with the chain, which is the same thing. Just replace the clip with the chain and add the clip to the other end of the chain. Now, if you want to do the fully upgraded super shotgun, you can replace this chain, the gray chain, with a translucent orange one. And then let's take this clip off here and attach it like so. Now you have the fully upgraded super shotgun, which now causes everything to be on fire. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave the orange chain on there. But yeah, the super shotgun in Doom Eternal is probably one of my favorite guns in all of gaming, honestly. Like, it is brilliantly designed, and I don't think anything can come close to it. Alright, so now here we have the bane of my fucking existence, the ballista mods. These are what made this video. These are these are 2 of 4 guns that made this video take 2 years. So this is the Destroyer Blade mod. This is the one I use more. This is the one that, you know, looks like a bow and arrow, and it extends out like dun, 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 and you shoot it and just slices everything in half. It's pretty big. And you'll notice it's like that dark tan color. In the concept art and in-game, it's actually the same color as this. Finding pieces like this in that color are super hard, or they just don't exist. So I went based off the concept art where it was actually a bit of a tan color. So I think it's fine. You know, it's whatever. If people really want to throw a fit, womp womp. So this one is built using that same piece from the plasma rifle in dark gray. And then we have these like pizza slices in dark tan. This piece right here, which I think you can tell what piece that is by now. And then you know, again, like I said, I'm not going fully in depth on these just because you can tell how those are made. It's this part that's complicated. Okay, so then we attach this back here. This is a 1x1 brick with that little indent in there instead of the stud, and then it's got the hole in the back. That's how this is attached, which is that like Spider-Man web piece. This is the stud with the pin going in upside down. This piece is a 1x1 with a stud on each side, on the top on the top and bottom, it's a 1x2 tan plate. On the sides, it's this little contraption here. Now, this is a hot dog piece. This is actually how I had achieved the, like, arch on both versions. I got them from the Statue of Liberty No Way Home set. These are the eyebrows for her. I actually ordered 4 more off of Bricklink. They're actually relatively cheap, minus the shipping and all that. And they're not the same color, but they are the closest I could get, and I think they honestly work. And if they ever do update them, like I said, I will make an updated video. Add that same piece on the front here because the ballista has 2 holes where the ammo actually comes out. And then add these wrench pieces on the end and make them curved like that. Don't push them all the way straight, otherwise it will start to push these pieces off and it will break. But there you have it. That is the Destroyer Blade mod for the ballista. And then up next we have the Arbalest mod, which is damn near identical. It's just instead of going that way, it goes this way now. This one is the one that you shoot, and it shoots like a bomb that sticks, and then the bomb explodes. But obviously, you know, you can just shoot these guns defaultly. I think I nailed the design on this one as much as I could, so I like my Lego version of this more, but in-game I preferred that one. So this is what it is. Size comparison, again, it's pretty big, you know, but that's okay because Doomslayer is super strong, and he's able to hold all of these guns with one hand. So this whole thing, this whole part here is actually identical, so it's the exact same thing. And then with that 1x1 gray brick with the studs on each side is actually moved here. Tan plate up there, or tan tile up there, tan tile down there. That one's pushed up against that. This one is not quite pushed up against the stud, but if you wanted to, I mean, you could. It would look like that. I prefer to keep it lined up with where the black ends. And then these are very, very, very fragile, okay? So you can't push those in all the way either. It's very similar. It's 1x1, or it's studs. I don't know, I keep saying 1x1. I didn't rehearse this. I don't write scripts, by the way. These are gray studs with holes. The hot dog pieces again, the wrench pieces. And then let me just remove this. There is that gray pin there again. I believe I cut it to be about this long, shoved it in there, and then made this contraption. I'm sure you can tell how that's made. And then attach that on there, make sure it's straight, because then it's got the dual blasters right there. Bend these down, but not all the way down. And then there you have it. This is the Arbalest mod for the ballista. Up next is one of my favorite Lego designs I made. This is the chain gun. This is the energy shield mod, which actually, this is the only gun on this list besides the combat shotgun that is two-handed. And I made sure to design it that way because in-game, he does have an extra handle. Like, he actively holds this gun with 2 hands. So this gun, sorry, I'm a little congested, is, I said it's one of my favorites. In-game, I actually don't use it a lot, but the energy shield in-game actually goes all the way around him, so I was not about to build a big shield piece. I just wanted to build the gun. So it's two-handed, and it's built off of, here, why don't I take some of these off. This piece, like this gun piece, I don't know exactly where you can get it from, but I just happen to have 2 of it, but you're gonna need 2. And then you're gonna put this, like, I don't even know what to call this, but like this piece, like, I'm sure you guys have seen this piece by now. That's just a gray stud and a gray plate, and then this jumper plate right here, like that, and then this contraption on the side here for the extra handle. Do the exact same thing on the other side, except instead of a pin there, just put a tile that's like the D shape. And then all of this right here is, oh, is it actually attached via a pin? I think it is. Okay, we are going to very carefully remove this stuff off the sides here because I'm pretty sure I was smart and put a pin through it all. Yes, I did. Okay, so this is a 1x3 black pin, and then this is the stud with the pin, stud with a hole. These are all studs with holes, so that's black, blue, black, blue, black, blue. And then put it in just like that, attach it on there, and then we'll reapply all of these pieces. So this one's actually relatively easy. Like, this is actually one of the first guns I made because I tried to go in order, and then when I realized I was going to hit roadblocks, I just jumped around a bit. This is the mobile turret mod for the chain gun, which actually is my, again, I prefer the Lego design, but in-game I prefer the other mod. So this one, another two-handed. Obviously, it has to be two-handed just like its other mod counterpart. Because it's a bigger gun. So this one in-game, it splits open into 4 mini turrets and spins, which this one actually can spin if you really want it to. But, you know, it doesn't do that automatically, unfortunately. So it's built off that same piece, except now this time, on both sides, this is a stud on top of a stud with a pin on top of that. And it has a blue stud with the hole, and then this, like, Technic piece, I don't know what to call it, but these are supposed to be the oh my god, the Gatling rotors that spin and, like, spit out the shells. Then that's replace door. That one doesn't have anything on it. Just add a little pin on there. And then this is a lantern piece with a blue stud in the middle. And then just a stud with a hole. Slide it in there. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. And then we're going to get into the third out of 4 guns that made this video take forever, the BFG 9000. Now, this in design is inspired by someone else. I cannot remember the name off the top of my head. But if you guys have seen his video, you know who I'm talking about. I had to make a couple adjustments, though. So this gun, obviously, is big. Hence the name, Big Fucking Gun. So I wanted to make it a decent size. You know, it's not this big in the game, but I think it works here. So this one is made using, this is a 1x3 plate, and then this piece, like it was on the, where'd it go? On the ballista, but inverted and in dark gray. Then this like ingot piece here, 1x3 dark gray tile. And then this contraption was made doing this. So you want to make 2 of this, which I got these pieces, the dark gray, like these pieces, from the Daily Bugle. But then I just ordered more. That's a, like, what is this color? Like translucent lime green? I'm not sure. And you put it on like that, gives that illusion of the dark green, or the green in there. And then this piece is actually from Sandman's fingertip, from the No Way Home, like Sandman and Electro battle set. And then this little contraption here, I changed up some of the coloring to give it extra detail, from the other guy. And then his handle, I think, was different. He just used a pin. I gave it the hose, which actually, this piece needs to be dark gray to be more game accurate, and it does exist in dark gray, but only one person on Bricklink has it because it was custom made. But it's an official Lego piece, and it's so expensive I was not about to do it. So I just made it light gray because that's more readily accessible to everybody. But if it ever does get made in dark gray, switch it out for dark gray. But that is the BFG 9000. Honestly, I know it's not fully my design, but after my adjustments, I think this is the perfect minifigure scale BFG. Now, this is the real bane of my existence. This is the Unmaker. This is what made this video truly take 2 years. So this is what it looks like in hand. It's fucking huge, okay? I knew from the get-go when I made this gun for him, it was always going to be huge. Now, there are other people who have made this gun, and it's even bigger. This gun is very hard to capture in minifigure style with all the details that it has. The only things I took away were, okay, it's white, it's dark red, and has a hint of gold. So what I went ahead and did was I took a 1x1 brick with the studs on each side in white, added this plate, the cheese slope, the D-shaped tiles on each side, a grill up on the top. This is supposed to be like actually one of the like where he grips it when he grabs it. This is a stud with a pin for the handle. Wait, what just happened? I almost broke it. Sorry, my bad. And then we're gonna go ahead and remove that. Come on. Okay, so if we take that off, this piece I got from No Way Home, the same No Way Home Final Battle set. This one with the 3 Spider-Men. And then I added skeleton arms to the side. Specifically those ones that have, like, they don't face the same way. Because it does have a bony structure to it, you know? And then add this 1x1 plate with, like, the curve, you know, going up. A gold stud on top. I tried looking for a gold tile in that, but I don't have one. But you could do that, but I went with that. Then on this side, this 1x3 with the pins, I don't know where I got it. I actually don't, but I have like 3 of them, so they must be in a relatively common set. But then that's a 1x1 white plate, 1x1 dark red tiles. Apply that just like so. That is a red lightsaber piece in the middle because the original Unmaker shoots lasers, This one doesn't quite shoot lasers, but I figured I would make a little Easter egg to the original there. And now this whole part here was the hardest part to design, because in game they're like skeleton arms arching over, and there's actually 3 arches. Right here there's only 2. If I added an additional, that gun in comparison to Doomslayer would be all the way out here, and I wasn't going to do that. So I did have to sacrifice one of the arches, but it uses fire extinguisher pieces attached just in there, designed like this. These jumper pieces in dark red, in reality they should be white. They do also exist in gold. I opted for dark red because I wanted more dark red on the Unmaker. So these are just dark red studs, more fire extinguisher pieces, and then these. I ordered these from Bricklink. That's where you can guys, if you are hesitant about ordering from Bricklink at all, please don't be. They actually are super reliable, and I only have ever had one fuck up in like the 4 years I've been ordering from them, maybe even longer than that. But this is the Unmaker. This is genuinely what made this video take 2 years to make. I finally perfected the design as close as I could. If I am able to make adjustments, I will showcase it, but as of right now, that is how you build the worst gun in Doom Eternal. Up next is the Crucible, which I did show how to make in the minifigure video, but again, for those who are new, this design is inspired by somebody else on Instagram, which I linked in the original video, which is also linked in the description of this video, so you can find them there. But this is the nunchuck piece in like gunmetal gray, but like the dark gunmetal gray. Oh wait, no, because this is gunmetal gray. Silver is the, okay, I'm stupid. Gunmetal gray, 1x1 gray with a pin. And then on that pin is a translucent orange stud with a hole. Then 2 studs of this translucent neon orange. Another orange stud with a pin. And then this Nexo Knights blade piece, which I don't know who it comes from. But when I saw this man's design for the Crucible, I was like, oh my god, that's perfect. It's minifigure scale. It perfectly captures like the way it works. It's perfect. Usually I just see people take Kylo Ren's lightsaber and put it upside down. And I'm like, no, the Crucible's orange. I think this captures it as good as you're going to get. And then, you know, you can like recreate him flashing it in front of his face. This is one of my favorite weapons that I made for this game. Too bad it sucks in game. And last but certainly not least, maybe, the Sentinel Hammer. So, as you may notice, it is fucking ginormous compared to the minifigure. That is because in the promotional art, he is swinging it kind of like this. Okay, it's huge. And then in-game, he just takes it up and goes, what? Right? And it stuns all the enemies. I was low-key expecting more from this, but oh well. So, the full design of the hammer, you cannot make him hold it two-handed, by the way. I wanted to verify that. It does not... Wait, maybe I lied. Nope, because in order to get it two-handed, it would require me to remove the brown studs in the middle there, which I'm not going to do. So this piece, I don't know exactly... Oh my god. I don't know where this piece originated from, but it's like a lightsaber handle, but longer. And then brown stud, and then this like pin here. Here, let me reattach this, and then just take the whole thing off so you can see what the frame of this is. It's this piece, and it's got the exact same thing on the other side. So you take that piece, make 2 of these, and then on this end, this does not have to have a hole in it. I didn't even realize it did, but I've messed around with other designs. So this could be a normal stud, or it can be the one with the hole. And then this is a brick with a stud on each side. I just went with 2 dark red translucent 1x1 plates and curved them this way, because when it was curved this way, I was like, man, that looks really basic. Why don't we just spice it up a little bit and turn it, 45 degrees? Why not? I think it makes it work. A translucent dark red cone piece, and then these are soda tabs on each side, because there's actually runes on the sides of the hammer, and I feel like the best way I did it was upside down soda tab plates. So it's not perfect. Like I said, I might mess around with these and make an updated version of this video, but I remember 2 years ago going on YouTube and looking up how to build weapons from Doom Eternal, and there is a couple videos, but some of those guns just don't look accurate. So I wanted to make weapons that looked faithful to the actual in-game models, or at least the concept art, and then share them with the world, because I know I'm not the only Doom and Lego fan here that has been wanting Doom sets, which are never going to happen because they're violent games. So instead, here I am doing it myself and sharing it with you guys on how to build every single weapon from Doom Eternal in Lego. I am fairly confident I got the names of all mods and which Lego model assigned to each mod correct. If I was wrong, like I said, I'm either going to fix it or just refilm the entire video. But given since this video is 35 minutes long, probably not. Maybe I'll just cut it out and then insert a new bit there. But anyways, just to recap, every single weapon from Doom Eternal. And then I am going to start working on every single weapon from Doom the Dark Ages. I hope it doesn't take another 2 years. But it's not coming anytime soon, I can promise you that. I don't know how many of those guns I'm going to be able to make. There's actually more weapons in that game than this one, because you have to include the three melee weapons. You have to include... It's not necessarily the mods. It's like, okay, in that game, say for example, the Impaler and the Shredder. They're in the same weapon class, but they're two different weapons. So you're going to get like the combat shotgun and the super shotgun, right? You're going to get both, but it's going to take me a little longer for weapons like the rocket launcher and the Impaler, or the chain shot, the skull crusher, for God's sake. That one's going to piss me off. But rest assured, I will be making them. I'm currently working on a Doom the Dark Ages Slayer minifigure, which will be coming, hopefully this video will be coming out. I'm filming this on the 20th. This video should come out before the end of the week. The Dark Ages Slayer should hopefully come out, before March, I'd say. Before March, before the end of February, I hope. But don't quote me on that. As for the weapons from Doom the Dark Ages, I have no idea. I have no time frame. I'm tight on money, and I had to order some of these pieces. But here we are. I'm very happy with everything, how everything looks. And then I will make the weapons from Doom 2016, whether or not I have a minifigure for it. So we'll see what happens when we get there. Anyways, enough rambling. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like, leave a comment down below. What is your favorite weapon from Doom Eternal? Me, personally, it is... the super shotgun. I mean, come on, it's the super shotgun. It's got the meat hood. It fucks everything up. Hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you get notified every time I post a new video. Peace out, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Rip and tear until it is done.